single week and help us what they need and what they don't need, depending on what they've used and what they are currently using in the market.
My question is around data. You say that you guys have structured data, access to data that's better than anyone else. Why? Like, why do you have better access than all the established players?
Like Thomson Reuters.
Yeah, I understand. Well, the point here is that Thomson Reuters are using the keyword search, and when you search in their platform, it's not something that going through all the information and exactly extract what you want. So what we are doing here is that we researched that how is the thought process of the lawyers, sorry. And in this way, we extracted information that they want. For example, as a lawyer, when they are searching, what is the first thing that they are looking for? They are searching, and when they see a legal document, they are looking for the holding of the case.
Sorry, my question was more like, how do you have access to data superior to? So if Thomson Reuters has, like, most people have to pay for, that's actually the main reason for, even if it's a poor search engine, the data is what people are paying for. So why would you have access to that more so than another platform? Like, I'm trying to, where's the gold? Like,
so let me make it clear. Data is open source and everyone has access to that. What is differentiate us is that we extract information and save their time rather than reading all the information. So based on the extracted information, we clearly define the relationship between cases. What the statutes are being used in these cases? What are the cases that's cited in these cases? So instead of reading all of that, everything is in front of you already.
I mean, so I don't know much about law, so I'm just gonna ask, like, so everything of every single case in all of the U.S. or Canada is available.
So I understand what you're trying to say. Most of these cases are publicly available, actually. The thing is, what's differentiating us from Thomson Reuters is that we're not charging $1,000 per month. If you want to have access to those cases, you can pay $1,000 per month. But 85% of the legal space in the US are solo practitioners or small legal firms, and unfortunately, they don't have access to that. They have to manually go on Google and type literally a case and go through websites to find that case. That's the difference between Thomson Reuters and what we're building. We're basically building that entire database. We're getting all the cases on our platform. And on top of that, we're building an artificial intelligence to help them basically analyze through those cases.
So I was a former lawyer.
Right.
So I don't think it's like, and Calvin's there, right? And so one, Thomson Reuters has like all the case law, they've got all the statutes. So one, do you think it's worthwhile to recruit a lawyer? Because let's say family law, jurisdiction is provincial here. In the US, there's state and federal law. So there's a lot of nuance and such. So how does the AI take into account, like family law in Quebec is governed by the Civil Code, but family law in Ontario and the other provinces are common law, but they have different statutes.
So we're focused. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
So how do you take that nuance?
So we're currently based in New York, and we are focusing on the U.S. market. But technologically speaking, do you want to?
So technologically, how we are differentiate this, the structure that we are following.
Sorry. It's like, how do you take into account the nuances in the law? So, like in New York State, for example, alimony, like there's a community property, right? So alimony can go on for years, and the property split in half. In Florida, alimony lasts for at most 3 years now, right? Like that's it. Texas, 2 years, and there is a separation of property. So how does the AI take into account that?
Yeah, I understand your point.
Yeah.
This is something that right now we are not considering. Why? Because the system that we are designing needs the foundation to have the legal cases first, having the information, creating the relationship between the citations, cases, and after that, we can go to the further and solving more complicated problems.
So your knowledge graph connects cases, right? Showing the relationship.
Exactly.
Well, what about statutes?
About the statutes, what we did for the cases, for example, for citations, we extracted each cases that's cited. For example, if one case has 20 cases cited in it, we extract them and created a relationship. we are going to do the same as the statutes. If like we have 10 statutes that is cited in one case, we should extract them and create a relationship
So
between them
you
two.
extract the statute?
Exactly.
I think a lot of this relies on two things, right? So one, if you were told me you're getting lawyers to engage in like criminal enforcement wording and such, kind of, yes, there's just a lot of nuances. I just have still a lot of questions about the data, especially when you have like customers that owns like literally all the databases. They own all the databases, they get the most accurate information on regulations, on statutes, case law, international treaties, especially just on family law. That's just family law, which is like you can literally spend your entire like have a massive law firm just on that.
Yeah, I mean, look,
You don't feel you're kind of over-promising to a very
no,
consumer
no, no.
market?
So the thing is, I understand your question. The thing is, we're not, Thomson Reuters is not our competitor. They already have the target market that they're targeting, which is legal firms that can afford $1,000 to have all of that. The target market that we're targeting are people who don't even have the resources to, first of all, get cases and analyze those cases. Much after that comes much after a lot of having access to those resources.
So you're saying you're working with a New York attorney that can't access case law?
No, sorry. So we're working with a New York attorney who does have access to case law, but so she doesn't have access to, for example, she can't have access to Westlaw. She can't afford Westlaw. So what she has to do is find cases online and do analysis based on what she has, the resources that she has online.
Right, but cases are published on a specific site by a specific agency.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So you don't just Google, you just go to that site and get the cases. And though the search term may be poor, that's where you get the cases. So you're saying you're dealing with independent lawyers who can't afford a Westlaw subscription.
Right.
So my question then would be, are you permitted to act and resell that data? Can you plug into that same, Thomson Reuters Westlaw data and actually reuse it and resell it? Like, do they allow you to do that? Because then you can get access to very rich data, act as the intermediary, and then resell it. I don't know if you consider that, or if that's even legal, but...
Are you saying having access to our database, like third parties having access to our database?
No, I'm saying actually access the big databases that exist, but permit, become a partner of Thomson Reuters, where you're then reselling, just an analysis of the data, not the actual data.
Good point. Actually, recently what happened was Thomson Reuters acquired a legal firm called CoCounsel, a legal research company. It's a startup for $650 million US. And that was basically their use case. It was an acquisition and it was emerging as well. Actually, a lot of that, it did spark a lot of debate online as well. A lot of legal professionals who were paying $300 per month were now paying $1,000 because of the acquisition. And they couldn't afford that.
But attorneys charge like $300 an hour. So
That
you're
is.
actually working with like legal aid lawyers, right? Like if they can't even afford $1,000 a month.
These are solo practitioners,
It's
yes.
like, I'm a doctor, I can't even afford a stethoscope and like a blood pressure machine. Say, okay, so I'm in the legal aid clinic, so that
Right.
means your total market's actually quite small then, right?
I mean, this market, if you're not part of a big legal firm, which a lot of lawyers aren't, I mean, there are a portion of lawyers that are part of big legal firms, but there are also lawyers that aren't in that, for example, solo practitioners. We are targeting individuals at first.
Individuals of legal aid.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just want to switch gear rapidly, if that's okay. Have you done anything on go-to-market? And what's the initial
Yeah,
effort?
so currently we are, like I said, have 6 what we call design partners. These guys are helping us design the entire platform. So our goal is to basically convert them into paying users later on. And these legal practitioners are also part of legal clinics. So we are in conversations of having our platform be integrated into their workflows.
Perfect. just sharing insights within our own portfolio. We invested in Spellbook, which is a AI contract reviewing startup. That startup is killing it.
Right.
The go-to-market is self-serve. It's product-led growth. Lawyers can just like click on the website, use the product from the get-go. It's pretty like simple, sweet, and the traction has been amazing. So since you're going after a similar ICP, I would advise doing something similar. And also you can charge for $1,000 per month for that.
Thank you.
At least.
Yeah.